Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cohen back here again today with another video. There wasn't going to be another video tonight. I dropped one earlier today. If you didn't go watch that, go check it out. But I'm just kind of busy right now doing some school stuff. I'm a college student, so I'm a little busy right now. I have an exam coming up tomorrow, so I wasn't going to make a video. And then the Wolves did something. Now, usually when I say the Timberwolves did something, you associate it with something bad or embarrassing. I'm here to tell you that it's actually neither of those things, and it's actually amazing. The Timberwolves, a team that has been really bad this season, not a lot of bright spots. They have a bright spot emerging, and his name is Anthony Edwards. Incredible game from him tonight, as well as Karl-Anthony Towns. But we're kind of used to Towns' greatness. He is a top 3 center in the NBA. I think he's just that tier below Jokic and Embiid. I think they're 1A, 1B, and then you have Towns right there behind them. But Towns hasn't really been Towns this season, and then tonight he was. He had 41 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. He had a steal. He shot 15 of 24 from the field, the typical amazing cat efficiency. 5 of 7 from 3, one of, if not the greatest, 3-point shooting big man of all time. But I don't want to talk about Karl-Anthony Towns too much in this video. You know how good he is. I really want to talk about Anthony Edwards. Tonight, while Karl-Anthony Towns' stat line was incredible, you could argue that Anthony Edwards might have had the better game, if not right there with him. He had 42 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, shot 15 of 31, so just under 50%, 4 of 13 from 3, which isn't great, but he's still hitting 4 threes, sunk some free throws. He was the man tonight. And for a guy who has gotten not like any attention at all, especially for being a number 1 overall pick, I logged onto Twitter and I was like, oh my God, this game's crazy. Cat and Anthony Edwards are both going crazy. I bet everyone's talking about this. Not one tweet. I scrolled for like a minute and no one said anything. And I'm an NBA Twitter account. I follow like all NBA accounts. There's very rarely anything I'll follow other than things that are basketball related. And I didn't see anything about Cat, about Edwards, about this game. Nothing. And I get March Madness is on. I understand that. I am a basketball fan all around, not just an NBA fan, so I have been keeping up with March Madness, of course. I dropped my bracket a couple days ago. You can go check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. But I thought someone would be talking about this. The number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft, scoring 42 points, which, by the way, I'm going to give you some statistics about that. Cat and Edwards tonight became one of 5 duos since 2010 to drop 40 each in a regular season game. KD and Westbrook did it 3 times. Shout out the Thunder guys. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have done it. Cat and Wiggins actually did it once. Westbrook and PG did it. And now Cat and Edwards. That's a very exclusive list. Additionally, Edwards tonight had the most points by a rookie in Timberwolves franchise history. Not Karl-Anthony Towns. We could talk about some other guys too, but Anthony Edwards. He was also the 3rd youngest player with a 40-point game in NBA history. This is not dating back to any time. This is in NBA history, behind LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And now the Timberwolves have now won 3 out of their last 5 games. All those stats right there were from StatMuse on Twitter. Go check them out. Great account. And then another thing I saw is that in those 5 games that the Timberwolves have won 3 out of the 5 of, Anthony Edwards is averaging 30.6 points per game, 5.4 rebounds a game, 2.2 assists, and 1.6 steals. And no one has said anything. I knew he was putting up great numbers, but to be honest, despite watching him a lot, I haven't realized how good those numbers have been until I saw it laid out there. He's been phenomenal. He has been the number 1 overall pick, and he gets no media attention. No one talks about him. He's a guy that a lot of people have already given up on. Similarly to James Wiseman, I think it's just because LaMelo Ball has been so good so early in his career that people are already starting to give up on Anthony Edwards. They're like, oh my God, LaMelo Ball, how'd you pass on him for Anthony Edwards? And I will go on record saying I'm someone who advocated for Anthony Edwards not being the 1st overall pick. I was on the LaMelo train. I would have picked him there. But the Timberwolves have gotten too much crap for taking a guy that a lot of people had as their consensus number 1 overall pick. People have been destroying the Timberwolves for making that pick over LaMelo Ball. And now Edwards is showing out, and people aren't talking about it. No one's giving him the credit that he deserves after proving everyone wrong that has already talked crap about him. He's a walking highlight reel. He just gets buckets, and he plays with so much confidence. He has the mindset to be a great player because he goes out there and every night, I guarantee you, Anthony Edwards walks out there and goes, I'm the best player on the court tonight. He could be going up against LeBron James, and he would walk out there and go, yeah, I'm the best player on the court tonight. I believe it. And that's the mindset you kind of need. And he plays with that swagger to him. He's just so good. or he shows those flashes of being so good. Now, does he have some problems with efficiency? Yes, but so do a ton of young guards. We've been really spoiled recently, I think, with some great players. We talk about a Zion, we talk about a John Morant, who, to be fair, hasn't been super efficient in his career, but there are a lot of young guys who have been super efficient recently, and I think we're starting to forget how much rookies typically struggle with efficiency. LaMelo Ball has been way more efficient than a lot of people thought he was going to be coming into the league, and I think that plays into it a little bit. But Anthony Edwards he's improving. Every single game he's improving. And he's 19 years old. He doesn't turn 20 for like another 100 days, I'm pretty sure. So he's super young. He's one of the youngest players in the NBA. And he's putting up a 40-point game. The third youngest in NBA history to drop 40 in a game. That's insane. He's really good. And he has so much potential to be good. And the biggest part about this game is that the Timberwolves have hope. And that's a lot more than I can say for this franchise in the past, however many seasons you want to go back. Probably the most hope they've had is when they got Jimmy Butler, and even then that lasted a season. They barely made the playoffs, and then they got knocked out, and Jimmy Butler ended up kicking everyone's butt in practice with the third stringers, and then ended up being traded for not very much at all. So that was probably the last time that there's been hope. But a game like this, where the Timberwolves are actually showing promise, even I've been down on them this season. Earlier in this year, I made a video talking about how I didn't know what the Timberwolves' next move was because it just didn't feel like they were improving at all. And this is a problem you can talk about like with a team like the Kings, who have young guys, but it doesn't feel like they're getting better. Even if the young guys are getting better, it doesn't feel like the team is improving. It doesn't feel like the team is building on anything. And that's been a problem with the Timberwolves for a while. They got Wiggins, who early in his career was really good, and he has had a resurgence in Golden State this season. But he would get better and nothing happened. Cat has gotten better. Cat is a top 3 center in the NBA, and nothing happened. The team wasn't more successful because of it. They weren't making playoff appearances. The only playoff appearance they had was when they traded for Jimmy Butler. So it just felt like nothing's been building. And now that they've won 3 of their last 5, and these players are starting to improve, if D'Angelo Russell can get healthy, there might be something here. We need to see it more in action. We need to see more of Chris Finch as a coach. I have really liked what he's done as a coach. He's given Anthony Edwards plenty of opportunities to thrive, which I think you need to do, because in order for this team to find some way to championship contention at some point, Edwards has to be either that 1A or 1B to Karl-Anthony Towns' opposite. I think that they can be the best 2 players if they reach their full potential on a championship team if you put some good pieces around them, and they have managed to do that. D'Angelo Russell, I'm not sure where he is right now. He hasn't proven to be a winning player a lot of the time other than that one net season. And if he can rekindle that, then maybe there's something there. Malik Beasley has been impressive this season. He's looked like a most improved player candidate, but he has a lot of off-the-court issues which need to be resolved. They have some interesting guys like I think Naz Reid has a bunch of potential there. You can talk about Nkogi. You need to see what you have with Jarrett Culver. I still didn't like that draft pick necessarily, but maybe there's something there. And if you can get a top guy, if this Timberwolves team can add like a Cade Cunningham to this team, with the potential Anthony Edwards has shown and how much we know about Cat, that's a crazy young core. With a Cade Cunningham and Anthony Edwards, if you play him at the 3, put D'Lo at the 1 or 2 next to Cade. Cade's also like 6'7", 6'8", so he could play the 3 or the 2 as well. You run out those 3 next to Karl-Anthony Towns and whoever you want to put at that power forward position. If you want to run small ball and put Malik Beasley there, maybe he could try and run it. I don't know. Maybe you have something there. Maybe Malik Beasley is a 6-man for you guys. I don't know. I just want to make this video and give the Timberwolves props because I feel like the Timberwolves never get props for anything they do. And anytime Anthony Edwards has a good performance, he's just compared to LaMelo. And that's the nature of basketball. It's the same thing with Trae Young and Luka Doncic, 2 guys who forever are entwined because one was picked over the other and the picks were traded for each other. The Hawks wanted Trae Young, so they gave up Luka for him. And so they are forever entwined. John Morant and Zion will forever be entwined as the top 2 players in their draft class. And if this continues and Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball do end up continuing to be the best 2 players in their draft class like they have been this season, they're always going to be talked about with each other. It's just the nature of basketball. It kind of sucks. Same thing with the whole LeBron Jordan thing. You will always have players that are tied together just because of circumstance, because of narrative, and it's going to happen. And it sucks because it diminishes from the accomplishments of one guy because you want to compare them to the other. It's just natural. So it's not much you can do about that. It's something we can hate, but we can't do anything about it. So this video was just to give props to Anthony Edwards, let you know what's happening because I feel like no one knows what's happening. I tweeted out during the game that I'm tweeting at you right now that Anthony Edwards has 41 points because I don't think you'll see anything about it otherwise. And I had so many comments under it like, wait, what? Really? Because no one knew what was happening. Not a single media outlet was talking about it. Nobody. And he's the #1 overall pick. I guess it's because he's in Minnesota. I don't know. But Cat was talked about a lot. Anthony Edwards just isn't talked about unless he's dunking on someone, which he seems to do a lot. So, with that being said, that's about all I want to say from this video. It went longer than I thought it was going to, but there's a lot to talk about here. I feel like I haven't talked about the Timberwolves in a while. Giving them props. A lot of props have been due over this last stretch of games. They're trending up, and that's something new for this franchise, at least recently. So, with that being said, I will see you guys later, and everyone say back.